Hello, welcome to Common Sense TV. I'm your host, Doctor of Common Sense. Now, there have been some reports out that the co-pilot was a transgender. Those reports has been false. Now, there is a female co-pilot, but no news outlet would release the name. I don't understand the logic behind that because the two male pilots' names has been released. So I can't see a good reason after 2 days that we don't know the identity of the female pilot. To me, that looks like preferential treatment. Now, not that we want to just blame the pilot because I guess the pilot and the co-pilot was to blame for it. There's a lot of things that I'm not understanding about the whole accident. First of all, a helicopter, if I'm not mistaken, I'm no pilot, but a helicopter has the ability to stop in mid-air, right? It can go up, down. The plane doesn't have many choices. Now, it's been reported that a day before this particular incident, there was also another close call incident. Now, is it possible that the female pilot that they are refusing to give up the name, I'm talking about conservative sites too, is because there was some kind of DEI hire, as Mr. Trump suggested. Now, if you may have forgot that in one incident, the Republicans were trying to stop this process and hire qualified people, but the Democrats didn't want to hear it. Now, some of you may remember this lady here, I can't remember her name, she's from the GOP. She said this.
Based on their I rise in support of my amendment. Secretary Buttigieg and President Biden.
You pronounce his name right. It's not Secretary Buttigieg. It's Secretary Buttigieg, according to Joe Biden. You make sure you say his name correctly.
DEI initiatives, which hire and promote people based on their physical characteristics.
What's wrong with that? You must be a racist. According to the Democrats, this is the reason you should hire somebody, because they want diversity. Now, you may not know this right here, because let me hip you on to this. If you have 20 different kinds of Jell-O pudding, it is the same as having 20 different flavors of horse manure. It is the same, because diversity means it's automatically good.
Over their merits and qualifications, violate Title VII and the Constitution.
You think they care about the Constitution?
In critical public safety roles such as air traffic control, it is essential to have the best possible candidate. But
you must be a racist. You want the best qualified people flying the planes and stuff? That sounds kind of racist, doesn't it?
Strictly on professional qualifications and merit. Efforts.
What about their pronouns? Do you need to ask the pronouns? Because somebody may be offended about their pronouns. Because if you're at war and you have a Black Hawk helicopter, the first thing that the enemy wants to know is their correct pronouns to make sure they don't misgender them before they blow them out the sky.
By the Biden administration to factor race, gender, and sexual orientation into hiring and promotion decisions puts the traveling public at risk.
If you have to suffer for diversity, so be it, damn it. If your house is on fire, you want to make sure there's a diverse firefighter coming in there. If a criminal is robbing you, pistol whipping you, you want to make sure that there's a diverse person who comes out and saves your life.
And deepens the staffing shortages we've seen throughout the FAA. Under this administration, we saw the first national ground stoppage since September 11th.
That's okay, because as long as it is diversity going on, we're for that. Now, you remember Mr. Trump, and I'm not going to play it again for you, but I want to remind you a little bit, because the FAA declared in 2023, now who was the president in 2023? Oh, okay. It was technically Joe Biden, but we know he wasn't in charge. Do you know what Pete Buttigieg did over at the FAA? They had what they call the Year of Inclusion. Ooh, it just gets me all excited. The Year of Inclusion. It was held a 3-day, I think it was kind of like a symposium that trained FAA employees They wanted to understand the impact of diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility. Ooh, I'm just getting chill bumps all over with this bullshit. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It's ridiculous. Everybody knows it's insane. Now, you remember when Mr. Trump says that they want to hire people with severe disabilities. Now, I don't want to discriminate against people with disability when it comes to them having access to other things. But I'm sorry. I don't want people with severe disabilities trying to tell you when the planes come in and go out. It's absurd. They say they want the workforce to have people with extreme disabilities, even maybe missing some body parts or partial paralysis or something, epilepsy. They want people directing the plane if you have epilepsy. This is absurd. But Pete Buttigieg got upset because Mr. Trump said this. So this has nothing to do with it. All I want to know is, why can't I know the name of the woman who was the co-pilot? Why is that a secret? Inquiring minds like to know. Now, you do remember, I forgot this other fella name. He's not the one who gave the interview. I'll show you that one in a few minutes too. But you remember there was like a commercial that they did a commercial, and they had this big old country corn-fed looking Negro, looking like he was like a former cotton picker or something. And he got on there talking about inclusion. I want you to listen to this.
Brad Mims, Deputy Administrator at the Federal Aviation Administration.
What's his name again? Let me see. Let me rewind it. What's this Negro say his name was? Brad? Did he say Brad?
Hi, I'm Brad Mims, Deputy Administrator.
Brad. I'm Brad Mims. I'm Brad Mims.
At the Federal Aviation Administration. We are looking for the best and brightest to join us as air traffic controllers. We need a diverse group of air.
She said he qualified that we need a diverse group. Hey, Negro, if you want diversity with your food, that's fine with me. You have all the diversity you want to. In your private life, you can have all the diversity you want to. But when it comes to public safety, we don't want to hear nothing about this foolishness.
Air traffic controllers to bring distinct perspectives to handle the ever-changing aerospace landscape.
Do you want qualified people? See, this is the problem with some of this nonsense right here going on. Now, see, this is what gets me with the left, though. If it's a minority that's qualified, they'll attack them. Because they don't want qualified minorities. They want dumbasses who's a minority. They want to put them in there. Because Cass Patel is considered a minority, right? See how they're attacking him? Ben Carson, look how they attacked him. Tulsi Gabbard, look how they attack her. They don't want diversity. They want ignorant diversity.
Calling on students and alumni from HBCUs, Hispanic serving institutions.
Who give a damn about all that? All we want is qualified people. All this other BS is a bunch of BS.
And tribal colleges to apply now to become air traffic.
Can Elizabeth Warren, can she go in for that position since she's a Native American, according to her?
Traffic controllers. I don't want anyone interested to miss out on this amazing career opportunity. Make sure you complete your full application.
You know, he just sounds stupid to me. I don't even want him. Well, how did he get the job? Let's check him. Now, you remember this exchange? I played it last night, and I played it before, but I want you to listen to this exchange. Because it's one for the ages. This fella started talking about blood pressure and stuff. I don't know how the guy even restrain himself from laughing.
Can you quickly tell me what airspace requires an ADS-B transponder?
Not sure I can answer that question
He's not sure he can answer because he don't know what the hell it is.
right now.
That's okay. We'll just keep going. So that's a pretty important part.
The guy doing the interview is keeping a straight face, but you can tell the sarcasm is just dripping off of his lips when he asked the question. He said, that's pretty important. Maybe we may have to know that right there, but let's keep moving on there, buddy.
So what are the 6 types of special use airspace that protect this national security that appear on FAA charts?
Sorry, Senator, I cannot answer that question.
Okay.
You can't answer no damn questions.
And so what are the operational limits?
Okay, ask him how much cotton it takes to fill one of those bags up. I bet you know that.
Limitations of a pilot flying under basic med.
Senator, I'm not a pilot, so...
He said he's not a pilot. That sounds like Ketanji Brown. She don't know what a woman is because she's not a biologist.
But obviously you'd oversee the Federal Aviation Administration. So any idea what those restrictions are under basic med, quickly?
Well, some of the restrictions I think would be high blood pressure. Some of them would be.
It's more like how many passengers per airplane, how many pounds
Okay.
in different categories, and what altitude you can fly under. So, and then amount of knots. It's under 250 knots. So it's not having anything to do with blood pressure.
It doesn't have anything to do with blood pressure. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. I'm surprised Al Sharpton and the NAACP didn't get on there. He made the man look bad. He made his damn self look bad. This fool started talking about high blood pressure. He should have asked him what his blood pressure was right then, just to keep that damn thing going. I couldn't have restrained him. I would have asked him all kind of crazy questions then. Okay, what do you think the blood pressure is supposed to be then when you fly that plane?
So can you tell me what causes an aircraft to spin or to stall?
Again, Senator, I'm not a pilot.
Okay.
He said again, he's not a pilot.
Okay, let's keep going. What are the 3 aircraft certifications the FAA requires as part of the manufacturing process? Quickly, please. 3 aircraft certifications.
Again, what I would say to that is that one of my first priorities would be to fully implement that Certification Act.
He would implement a certification act.
And report.
You know
back
the 3
to this
types,
committee.
Mr. Washington? The 3
No.
types? Okay. Yeah, that's type certificate, production certificate, and airworthiness certificate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How in the hell did this man possibly get nominated when he knows nothing? I don't know nothing about the FAA myself, but if I was going to go do an interview for the damn job, I guarantee you I would have looked up a whole bunch of this stuff, and I wouldn't come talking about the high blood pressure. Next thing, you want to know what your blood type is.
All right. Let's just keep going, see if we can get lucky here.
You said we can get lucky here.
So can you tell me what the minimum separation distance is for landing and departing airliners during the daytime, Mr. Washington?
I don't want to guess on that, Senator.
Are you familiar with the difference between Part 107 and Part 44809 when it comes to unmanned aerial standards? Unmanned aerial, unmanned like.
If I was him, after such a hideous interview, I would have told him I'd like to withdraw my name right now. I like to withdraw my damn name myself because I'm embarrassing me. I would have withdrew right then and says, with all due respect, I'm not qualified. It was a dumbass reason to put me up here because of my skin color. I don't know a damn thing. I've embarrassed my mama and my daddy. I embarrassed all my family. Let me go home while I got a little dignity. Because I wouldn't have kept answering questions getting embarrassed like this.
Drones, are you familiar with the difference?
Yes.
Okay, you know the difference between those 2, Part 44809 and Part 107? Do you know
Hell
the difference
no.
there?
No, I cannot.
This may be the dumbest tap. This is the worst person I've ever seen for a confirmation hearing. The worst. And that's saying a lot because they've had some real beauties in there. But I've never seen a person who could not answer one freaking question. Not one. Because total embarrassment. And you want me to believe, you wonder why ain't more planes crashing out the damn sky. Because they want to get people in there with severe, as long as it's inclusive now, if you got severe disabilities, we don't want just mild disability, we want severe disabilities. You got epilepsy, that's fine. You may have an attack while planes coming in, but that's okay. Complete paralysis, that's acceptable. Come on right in. This is madness. This is sheer stupidity. But I'm not saying this is the reason that the plane crashed, but is it a possibility that the helicopter ran flat into the damn plane? It ain't the plane's fault. It's the people on the helicopter's fault. Because the plane was coming in to land and you shouldn't be doing no training around this damn facility anyway. Now, as my understanding, there's a certain height you're not supposed to go up to. I don't know if they meant that. I don't even want to get into speculating. But what I can tell you for a fact is that the helicopter should have saw the damn plane and the helicopter could have stopped in mid-air because helicopters can hoover. Freaking airplane just can't hoover around. I don't know how in the hell he didn't see this big old freaking plane coming in for a landing. And the day before that, another one almost crashed. So it's not because this person was a transgender that some sites have falsely stated, because the transgender I was talking about has done an interview now. She's really proud. Okay, I mean, he's really proud. But what I can say is that why don't we know the name of the female co-pilot? We know the name of the other two passengers. Is a little suspicious because the crew chief name was Ryan O'Harry. They've identified him. He had a 1-year-old son, which is tragic. And there was a fellow from Mississippi, Andrew Aves, I believe, Eaves. And he was on the airplane. Now, we got their name. Their families have confirmed. My only question is, why don't we know the female's name? If it is a female. I'm taking for granted because everybody says it's a female. I don't know if it's a biological female or they got one of these transgender females. Now, the Joe fella that they say was responsible, that ain't Joe Ellis, is the transgender that some people falsely said. That's not true. So we're going to keep you abreast on this, and we got to stop this. Mr. Trump said we're going to cut out all DEI hires. Under no circumstance will you get hired again because of your skin color, your preference, or none of this other stuff. Amen.